right, for the second time, welcome everyone. We're so glad that you can join us live for today's webinar. This is one that I'm especially excited about because I feel like even as in my work as an educator and not a direct farmer, that I'm going to learn something and take something that I can use from today's presentation. So if you have not joined us before, I've just got a few introductory slides to let you know a little bit about this project and why we're doing this. And I do want to point out too that we had a few people reach out and ask, we're not veterans, can we take this webinar? Absolutely. Though this webinar series was developed as part of our Reducing Farm and Ranch Risks webinar series. It is a grant project that we have through the Western Extension Risk Management Education Center to extend training, outreach, and networking opportunities to military veterans involved in agriculture. So this is webinar number 9, utilizing digital marketing strategies for veteran-owned farm businesses. And our guest presenter, coming all the way from Texas, the magic of Zoom, is Diego Laredo, who's the digital marketing and outreach specialist for the National Farmer Veteran Coalition, of which Idaho has a chapter, and they are our partner on this project. So just a few tips. If you have not been doing a lot of webinars, it typically will run smoother if you don't have a lot of other things open on your computers or your phones. If you're having problems with the sound quality, you can check your settings. You can turn on and off your microphone. Every once in a while, my microphone gets garbled and strange, so it happens. At worst case scenario, you can call in on the phone number that came in the invitation and listen in over the phone while you're watching it on the screen. We have the chat feature live throughout the webinar, so you feel free to put in any questions, and we can try to answer those as we go or at the end. And then this and all of the other 9 webinars in our series have been recorded and posted to our YouTube page. And so if you are watching this and you were not able to be live, it's because we recorded it and sent you the links. And then just a last minute reminder that at the close of the webinar, we have a 3-question survey that pops up, and we'd love it if you would provide your feedback, because we turn that into the funder. They want to know that they're funding something that is valuable and that is potentially going to help our viewers. So just a little bit about our project and who we are and what we're bringing to you. So this is a joint project between University of Idaho Extension and the Farmer Veteran Coalition of Idaho chapter. We are both very committed to improving the economic opportunities and the quality of life for military veterans that choose agriculture as their next mission. And like I said, this is part of a project between the two organizations aimed at reducing risk for military veterans engaged in agriculture. It's funded through a Western Extension Risk Management Education Center grant. And what we have done is a multifaceted approach to addressing the production, marketing, financial, legal, and human risk management education topics to both new, beginning, and pretty experienced veteran farmers and ranchers across the state. It has included monthly webinars, a podcast series, and then hosting regional in-person workshops and tours in each corner of the state. Our team right now, myself, I'm an area extension educator in community food systems and small farms with the University of Idaho Extension, and I've been working on veterans in agriculture programs since about 2018. And the guiding and leading force for this is my partner in crime, Connie May, who is retired Air Force, and she has been serving as our program coordinator for U of I Extension, our Harvest Heroes program. And then most recently now, she is the president of the Idaho Farmer Veteran Coalition. Just a little bit about the Farmer Veteran Coalition, and Diego, you might cringe at this slide. I don't know. I think the information is all pretty still accurate, but there's a lot on here, but we wanted to share a little bit about who the FVC is. We've got some information about the history, where it all started. Idaho has had a chapter for a couple of years now, and we just continue to grow. And if you want to find out more about the Idaho chapter, we have our website there. Oops, let me go back. And then Okay, there's our website, and that QR code will also take you to the state page. And then you might want to check out the national page too for lots of other great information, resources, funding, etc. And just to let you know, our Idaho chapter members by region, we have the highest concentration in the southern and northern part of the state, but we do have a growing contingent in the central and eastern corners as well. You can go back and view any of the webinars that we have done so far. Again, they're addressing topics such as production, marketing, legal risk, financial risk. They've been a really excellent series, and we're proud to share those with you on our YouTube channel. We have one more webinar coming up next month, and that one will be on water rights and access to water in Idaho. That one's going to be really important, especially if you are seeking land or considering a piece of property for a farm. Our Idaho Harvest Heroes podcast. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this project. Connie has been leading the efforts here, interviewing veteran farmers and ranchers around the state, having them tell their personal stories about how they've dealt with all these different kinds of risk factors on their farms and ranches and in their businesses. And that has been really great. They're all about 15 minutes or shorter, and they can all be listened to. We've got them on Spotify, and then there's also the QR code to go directly and download them. So encourage you to listen to the podcast. But that brings us back to our topic for today. And again, we're going to be talking about digital marketing, how to make the most of it, how to reduce some of the risks associated. So we hope that after participating in today's webinar, that you will consider exploring using digital marketing and social media to learn more about your customers, to tell your story, and to establish your niche using the digital marketplace. We hope that you will identify some best practices for using social media and marketing online, and then be more prepared to maximize your digital marketing efforts while reducing your risks. So that's all that I have to present to you. Now we will transition over to Diego. Did you have slides to share?
Yes, no, I'll go ahead and bring that up.
Okay, and let's hope that that does not provide us with any technical difficulties today.
No, it shouldn't. Can you see my slides?
I'm seeing it. I just see it in the yep, now I'm seeing it in presenter view. Awesome. I'll
All
let you
right.
take it away.
All right. And real quick, I just want to get this up too. How to get my notes up. All right. So let me just make sure everything's good here. All right. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you to the Idaho chapter for inviting me to speak today. Again, I'm a digital marketing outreach specialist for Farmer Banner Coalition. What that entails is, so I do social media, emails, newsletters, I do podcasts, I do webinars. I'm all over the place for the organization, but the main thing is social media. So with my presentation, I'm just going to teach just some general things to look out for when you're trying to market your business or your farming operation on social media. And if you have any questions, please ask throughout the presentation or afterwards as well. I'll do my best to answer them. But let's go ahead and get started. Here's the agenda. So these are the main topics I'm gonna go over. Why you should use social media, understanding who your target audience is, telling your story, how to drive engagement online, how to build a community online, tracking metrics, paid advertising if you want to venture out there, and risk management. And then also best practices and Q&A at the end. So first off, why should I use social media? Why should you be on social media? Well, nowadays it's the main source of media that people is consuming. They get a lot of people get on the news on, believe it or not, a lot of people get on the news on Facebook, on Twitter or X, Instagram. People still watch TV, but a lot of people also consume a lot of media on social media nowadays. Most times you see someone on their phone, they're on social media. But it's a great way to reach out to new customers, any local partners that you have in your community, and to follow any great trends. Some trends that I want to point out, like you see hashtags going on. You like to use hashtags in your comments, in your posts. There's also national celebrations you could take part of. National Farmers Market Week, National Day of whatever you're using it. Believe it or not, there's a National Day for anything. National Day for tomatoes, potatoes, for salads or anything, you can become a part of that and try to push your content out there as well. So it's a great way to just reach a new audience. So when figuring out who your target audience is, some main things you want to consider is, are you trying to drive sales up to new customers? Do you want to engage with other similar businesses? Or are you just trying to just see what it's about, really? Make sure you know what you want to do before you decide to get on social media or decide to make a page for your operation. A few things to consider. Um, Consider what kind of platform you want to be on. So some things that I want to say is, try not to be on each platform. You don't need to be on every social media platform. Do what works best for you. It depends on your customer base. Like, for example, an older population might be on Facebook as compared to Instagram and Twitter or X, and there'll be a younger population, especially with TikTok. There's a lot of young people on that. So it just depends on who you're trying to reach out to. A few examples of the scenarios that I put is, someone who sells exclusively at their local farmers market may only want to target those in their city or regular visitors at the market. So they might do Facebook is a great place because there's a page for their local farmers market page. There's pages for other businesses there as well. It's just easy to connect with others on that platform. And then a farmer who sells straight from their farm, but we want to branch out a bit more depending on their location. Maybe they don't mind venturing out a bit. They could be on Facebook, Instagram. They can try TikTok. There's a lot of farms that are doing TikTok nowadays too. Find out what works best for you, and then start with one and then grow from there. Now, telling your story, ask yourself, why would I follow this page? Give people a reason to follow you. Make it relatable. So if you're a veteran farmer, there's already one thing that's relatable: a family business, homegrown by heroes, using the label. Maybe it's women in ag. If you're a female farmer, that's also something that's relatable. Make it to where people can relate and try to want to be a part of it. I got this picture up because we did a story of them a while back for a fellowship fund. He has a honey business. It's a family business, been in the family for generations. And his kid there, they just had a child, and he's hoping that his child will take over one day. But if you see in the background, it's Homegrown by Heroes label. There's a lot of honey people that amongst our membership that do that. So just little things that you think people want to relate to. That think of that for your page. Useful ways to tell your story. Using Reels is a great way to do it. It's very popular right now. Talk about your products, who you are, what you do. People love educational Reels. One example I see a lot when I'm on TikTok is cooking Reels, like how to make a recipe, how to do that. Try that with your operation. How do you go about the day doing your work? Tell people where it's coming from. People love to see what the word that goes into what you're selling. And for a lot of people don't know where their food comes from. So try to incorporate that into your work. Think of what kind of content you want to make that will fit best for which platform you want to choose. For example, if you want to do Reels, TikTok and Instagram are great tools for that. Facebook is pretty good for it, but they're more for bigger stories. If you want more writing in it, Facebook is great for that. Twitter, obviously, there's a word count. Unless you pay for it, then you're fine with that. But it depends on your content. So just think of that when you're telling your story. So online engagement, um, it's pretty much straightforward with that. So just make sure you respond to comments in a timely fashion. Do giveaways. Giveaways are great if you want to drive people to your website, your wherever you're selling, or maybe you want people to come to your stall at the farmers market. Do a giveaway like, hey, come to my stall, take a picture of me and tag me, and I'll pick someone from out of all the people who did that. That'll bring more engagement to your page and bring more people to your stall, and then you can give away to wherever you choose to decide. But also tag other pages, do collaboration posts with other organizations. If you're selling a gift basket for the giveaway and you have your product, but you also have someone else's product, tag those pages and have them post that as well. There's just more audience that you can reach out to. Live sessions, it depends on how you want to do those. Like for example, this is a live session, and it come with issues like we had the issue before. But so keep that in mind when you're doing a live session. Those are great for if you want to do if you're at a public event, or again if you want to show people what you're doing throughout the day. That's a great way to do it. And call to actions, so or CTAs for short and length, but a call to action is just basically telling people to do something like click the link in my bio to learn more, or click the link in my bio to open our shop. You tell people to go somewhere. You want them to go to your page, wherever you want them to go. That's a call to action. Or like and share, like, comment, subscribe. Typical things you hear. So think of those things when you're driving engagement online. Now, community building and customer service. Believe it or not, customer service goes a lot into handling a social media page. For example, when I'm handling a social media page for the national page, we have over, trying to remember the exact number, of 30,000 followers on Facebook, and I had to manage our comments, look through that. That's customer service. So that could be it the same way for your business. It's a crucial tool for building relationships between you and your customers. There's passive engagement and there's active relationship building. Passive engagement is just you're posting, but you're not really doing much with it. You're not commenting, you're not replying to comments, you're not replying to DMs, you're not thanking other people for sharing your post stuff. That that's the difference between if you want to build that relationship. So easy ways to do it, just again, just actively responding to comments, respond to DMs. Even if it's just a simple DM, just say thanks for buying our stuff online. Please share with other people that you might think would be interested. It's a small thing that can go a long way. And use your social media platform as a direct line for customer service. It can streamline a lot of communication. If you don't want people replying to your emails or sending you a text or a call, you can use your social media platform as, as your main place for communication. Engage more to your audiences. Again, ask questions, tag others. Think of ways that you think you can be engaged with your audience, and just don't make it seem like it's just a one-way communication. You always want to keep it both ways. Now, tracking metrics, this is something that a lot of people kind of look over. And for me, since this is what I do, so this is just kind of second nature for me. But a few things you want to keep in mind for social media. Your follower growth, obviously you want to grow your page. You want to track of how many followers you're getting. But then there's reach versus views and impressions. So people get these confused a lot. So reach is for each unique viewer each unique person that looks at your post. And compared to views or impressions, depending on which platform, they're named differently. But it's how many that post shows up on your feed. So if you're scrolling on your feed and you see a post, that's a view or impression. And then you go into another one and you see another post, that's a view or impression. But if you scroll back and you go back to that same post, the view doesn't go up. I mean, the reach doesn't go up. The view does, but not the reach, because you're just one person. So keep that in mind. And then hashtags. A lot of people like to use hashtags. Just be careful how many you put. It gets congested if you put like 10 plus hashtags on a post or all that. Stick to 3, maybe 5 max. The sweet spot for me, at least, is 2 to 3 of hashtags to use. And try to keep them pretty short. Don't use long hashtags, and use hashtags that are similar to what you're selling, to your product, to what's going on if you're at an event, stuff like that. And another metric that's really useful is click-through rate, or CTR. It's how often someone clicks on your content against the number of times it was seen. So the higher that number, the click-through rate, the more effective your post is, especially if you're trying to advertise something. So let's say you post something for you're selling a new product, and it was seen by 300 users, but only 5 people clicked it. So try to think of ways to try to drive engagement more for that post. Good social media ads drive action. If you include a link, that's always enticing for people to look at include a link, try to something to incentivize them to go check out your product. And then search engine optimization or SEO. That's something we hear a lot as well. SEO is hit or miss. It depends on how you're using it. Basically, what it is using keywords to increase the reach of your posts. Using the right kind of phrases for the right platform. And then don't use too many keywords. Make sure you're keeping your post authentic, but still using a few keywords. Like for example, on TikTok, if you go to your search bar, and then the first few phrases that will show up will be how to or what is. Those are very popular searches on TikTok right now. So if you're using TikTok, try to incorporate that into your post, like how to grow tomatoes, how to uh, manage your farm, just stuff like that. Try to incorporate that to your work and to your post. And I believe a comment showed up. Yes, how to explain how to use a hashtag for those that never use it. So a hashtag, basically what that does is it tries to push that post more than where it already is. So let's say it is Labor Day coming up, and I'm selling cattle for to do a barbecue or something, or I'm selling produce to make salads to go along with what they're cooking. Or you're at farmers market for Labor Day weekend. So you try to use those hashtags to try to push it more into that area to hashtag like such as hashtag Labor Day weekend, hashtag farmers market. It increases the potential views and engagement you can get on that post. If you don't know which hashtags to use, just look them up. You can go to your search bar on Facebook, just hashtag and search up whatever you want. And you can see how effective those hashtags are. It'll show you how many results show up. The higher the result, the better the hashtag is that you want to use that for your post. And I can show later after this presentation a few ways to use that. So paid advertising, this is something that can be tricky for a few folks. I decided to include this because it is useful. There's three main ways to do paid advertising for social media. There's search engine ads, which is a pay-per-click ads based on keywords and pushes your website up higher. It's good if you want immediate results. So, for example, if you're searching for a hotel and you see a deal going on, that at the top of the page you'll say sponsored. It's right next to search result. Those always show up at the top. These pay-per-click ads pushes your site to the top, or at least further up to the top based on how much you pay. So it's good for if you want your business to be easy to look for. You don't want it to be in the second and third page of a Google search page, because honestly, the majority of folks don't go past that first page of searching. I believe the number exactly is like 75 to 80% never go past that first page. So that can be useful if you want your business to be at the top and you want most folks to see that. And then for social media ads, Facebook or Meta, which is what it's called, they're good for expanding your reach. It promotes your post through multiple channels and audiences. And I can show exactly how to do that after this. But it's good if you want just expand your reach as much as possible. It's also customizable to suit your needs. You can customize to whatever demographics you want to use, any desired outcome. So if you want it to lead to sales, you want more leads, more people to contact, you want more awareness, again, just more views, you can customize it to that. And also for format, if you want it to be video, photos, slideshows, you can also customize the length of the ad. If you want to go for just a week, for a month, a couple of days, it's really useful. So I highly recommend you check that out. And then there's affiliate ads. Affiliate ads is you pay commissions to others to promote your product. It's useful if you want to reach new audiences, partnerships, and increase brand awareness. So basically what that is, it's you basically paying someone to promote your product. Like for example, you see a lot of influencers, online influencers say, "Hey, this is product, try this out. I'm using this," and they'll do a whole spiel for it. That's kind of what it is. It's used, you don't have to go to that length of paying an influencer to do it. You can do it with other businesses, local to in your local area. Um, like for example, if you want again another stall, your farmers market, they'll have your stuff, you have some of their stuff. It's a win-win. It helps increase your brand awareness. It could be someone that's a local another business. Maybe you want to sell your products in their shop, and you can try that out as well. It's really useful. It's also low risk, in my opinion, at least. It's low risk depending on your partnership because usually you only pay for the sales you offer them commission for it. Um, if there are many results, then you don't pay much. So and then you learn from why you didn't sell much, or you might try a different partner to do that with. So it's really good for working with other friends, working with other people that you know. Now, this wouldn't be part of the risk manager series if I don't at least include some of this. So there are risks that come with social media. For example, misinformation, a lot of that's going around right now. It can quickly erode public trust in your business if you're not careful with what you're paying attention to as before you're sharing all that. And then managing your reputation and criticism, be prepared to defend your practices but in a professional manner. And then time commitment. I know a lot of time goes into managing your farm and stuff, and it takes time to think of all these posts and like you might not think it takes a lot of time, but trust me, it does. So it's important to create a plan to make sure you're not overwhelmed. So handling misinformation. Honestly, the best way to deal with it is just stay away from it. If you see something that you know is not true, just keep that away from your page as best as possible. If you do share any articles or posts from other pages, make sure you verify the source, make sure it's true. Or if it's like something that's controversial or something that's you know a lot of people argue about, just make sure you say like, hey, I believe this is an important topic. We can talk about it in the comments or reach out to me if you want to talk about it. Just make sure you have a plan to anticipate any criticism, any comments that you'll get. Have a plan to address the issue before it becomes a problem. So, for example, if you're like for example, one topic that comes up a lot amongst farming is conventional farming versus organic farming. If you're one side or the other, just have a plan ready for any potential questions you think you might get. That way you have those on the side and you're like, okay, cool, this is the question they asked, I have this response ready for them already. It keeps you prepared. That way you're not caught just fumbling or stumbling your words whenever they ask you that. Otherwise, deal with misinformation. Show them, don't just tell them. Provide a behind the scenes view of your farming operation. Show them what it's all about and be transparent about it. If words aren't enough, maybe them seeing it and how it is would either change their mind or at least give them a better view of what it is. Educate them, share your values, and tell the story. Tell them why you're farming this way or why you think this method is the best. Use it to educate them, try to give them a better point of view. And also engage respectfully. Be willing to listen to their point of views as well. It's important to make sure the communication is both ways. Your story is your greatest tool, so make sure you use it. So reputation management. You want to make sure you maintain a positive image online for your business. However, with how big social media has gotten, it's a lot to keep up with. So how do you do it? How can you manage your online presence and protect your brand online? Again, this is kind of repeating, but consistent storytelling. Don't just encourage positive reviews. Reply to the bad ones as well. Ask them, hey, what happened? Why didn't you like the product? Let me know. It goes a long way because it tells them, oh, they actually care about my issues with it. Stay true to your mission, whatever it is, make sure you stay true to it. And a useful tool is set up Google alerts to stay notified when your business is brought up. especially in any news articles. And I can show you how to do that after this as well. But Google Alerts are very useful. We do that a lot with our organization, with Farmer Veteran Coalition. We'll put, anytime the words Farmer Veteran Coalition comes up in Google Alerts, we'll see if we show up any news articles, anything good or bad was said about us, we see those. And don't engage with any trolls or people that just want to stir up any conflicts in your comments. Messages, block them and delete, or you can also hide them. I like to just hide their comments because they don't know that I did that. They think I just didn't respond to them, but hiding their comments doesn't show up in the comments on your page, on your post, but also doesn't notify them as well. So it's a useful tool to use. And then time commitment. Plan ahead, just like you plan ahead for your farm. Take a look at your calendar and any important dates, think about what kind of posts you can make for them. Plan for important events. Again, farmers markets, any holidays. If you're planning a sale, plan for that and schedule them in advance. Like I said, there's Labor Day, Thanksgiving, a National Farmers Day is on October 12th. So it's a useful day to use. Anything that you think would be useful for your page, plan for that. And again, call to action. Use a clear call to action to help streamline communication between you and your followers. Like I said before, visit our website to learn more. Click the link in our bio. DM us for any questions. Those are clear call to actions that you can use for your posts. And again, schedule them ahead of time so you don't have to worry about them. And don't stress too much about what you are posting. Make sure it's authentic, but it doesn't have to be perfect. This is one thing I struggle with as well when I'm posting something on Facebook or any other social media platforms. I tend to overthink and I'll look over the post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10 times before I actually post it. Don't try not to do that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just as long as you get your point across and you think it's a good message, post it. And if it doesn't work, you can fix it and try again. It's always Facebook or any platform is good for just experimenting. So that was the main gist of my my presentation. A few best practices. Understand who your audience is and the platform you're using. Again, do some research. Look up who is in your local area, who buys your products, and any potential partners that you can work with. Understand who your audience is and base your platform on that. Make sure you're authentic and be transparent. Make sure you monitor your channels on a regular basis. Check them every day, at least once a day is really good. And manage your expectations. This is an important one. It takes time to build a social media presence. Don't expect to blow up overnight. Now, there is a possibility you can go viral because it happens all the time, but don't expect that. Just do it slowly, experiment, see what works best for you, and go from there. And again, don't overstress it. Don't be afraid to experiment a bit. Try different kind of posts. Don't be afraid to try videos. Take photos, do a live session, do a poll, there's so many things you can do with social media that I don't have enough time to talk about. So just don't be afraid to just try them all out. And before I show a few resources that I think are useful, do I have any questions? And it doesn't look like I do. So let me stop sharing real quick. And I have a few resources that I think are useful. So real quick, let me make sure it's right. Can you see my page? Oh, hold up. Now, do you see my Facebook page? So a useful tool for Facebook, like I said, if you want to boost your post or try to increase awareness, like for example, a real good one that we had was when we shared this webinar series with the USDA. If you want to see how that post did, click see insights and ads, and you'll see the views, the reach, interactions, and link clicks that you got. It's real easy to do. And if you want to do even more, you go to Meta Business Suite, You can do that if you go to your page, it'll be right here. Meta Business Suite is also really good to check out how your page is doing, how your posts are doing. You can see the reach, all that. And if you want to boost a post, like for Facebook advertising, click here and I'll show you what that does. So Facebook is great to increase your awareness. So there's different things you can do. If you want more engagement, you want people to like, comment, share, react to it. If you want more leads, collect contact information for potential customers. You want increase more sales, you want more calls. It shows you an example of that right there. And then there's so many other things you can customize it for. It uses AI if you want to use it to customize your posts, and it'll share those variations on other people's pages, other people's feeds. If you want to add a button, for example, book now, if you're having like for example, you have a webinar, you have people to book now, learn more, you include a link to your website, shop now, again, include link to your website to shop, sign up if you do like a newsletter or something like that. Call now if you want to include your contact information. There's so many things you can do to customize your post. And then your audience. So we have audience right here, FC audience that I use, but if you want to create a new one, you can customize it. If there's age range, if you want to contact people in Dallas, if you want to do just people in Texas, or I'm down here in Waco, if I want to, target people here in Waco, you can do that. It's really useful. And then you can also do some more detailed targeting. So right here, there's a few keywords that I put, but if I want to do, let's see what shows up. So these are just a few stuff that you can put if you want to target different things, shopping, if you want marketing, supermarket, if you want to do farmers market, stuff like that, you can customize it and it'll target those. So it's really useful to use if you want to just get your posts out to as many people as possible. So I like to use it a lot. And then for SEO, for search engine optimization, again, with the keywords thing, it can be real tricky, but this is a good source to use, and I'll include the links in the chat. But it's just how to make best use of it. Meta ads, again, this is a link to it. You just look up meta ads, but it shows you what they are, how to use them, how to increase your sales, increase leads, all that, build awareness. It's a great link to use. And Google search ads as well. Again, it just goes to more detail what it is. Again, like I said, those posts always show up on the top. That's an ad, a Google ad. And you can do that for your business to push your business up to the top. So these are great tools to use. Again, so these are the ads right here. But I think that's all I have. Let me see, look at my notes. But yeah, that's all that I have. If I have any questions or anything, please let me know.
Great. I think that really gives us a great overview and definitely some things to think about incorporating. I don't see any other questions,
Okay.
but we will be posting this and making it available. And I really appreciate, Diego, you taking time out of your big job serving Farmer Veteran Coalition at the national level to come and talk to us about this today. So really valuable stuff, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we will send out an email with the link as soon as the webinar has been posted, and please reach out to us if you have any questions.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.